Alright, hey guys, Haas here. Today we're going to be covering a little piece here from Routers, whatever you want to call it, by a guy named Patrick Temple West. Assuming that, I don't know, maybe his mom was one of those ladies that likes to keep the last name or something. Alright, piece is titled FBI Warns of Threat from Anti-Government Extremists. Ooh, that sounds scary. Alright, anti-government extremists opposed to taxes and regulations pose a growing threat to local law enforcement officers in the United States, the FBI warned on Monday. These extremists, sometimes known as sovereign citizens, believe they can live outside any type of government authority, FBI agents said at a news conference. Sovereign. The extremists may refuse to pay taxes, defy government environmental regulations, and believe the United States went bankrupt by going off the gold standard. Okay, tracking. Routine encounters with police can turn violent at the drop of a hat, said Stuart MacArthur, Deputy Director of the FBI's Counterterrorism Division. We thought it was important to increase the visibility of the threat of the state of local law enforcement. In May 2010, two West Memphis, Arkansas police officers were shot and killed in an argument that developed after they pulled over a sovereign citizen in traffic. Well, I don't know what happened in this case. It also says, last year an extremist in Texas opened fire on a police officer during a traffic stop. The officer was not hit. So I don't know what happened in those cases, how they went down. But if I had to guess, I'd say that the violence was probably perpetrated by the police officers. They certainly most likely escalated it, but you never know. There's a lot of crazy people in every group, so every group has its same crazy people. So I'm not gonna. I guess I shouldn't really be commenting on those cases, but legal convictions of such extremists are mostly for white-collar crimes such as fraud, which I'm sure has something to do with them probably not filling out their taxes. Those have increased from 10 cases in 2009 to 18 in 2010 and 2011. Wow, that's a growing threat. 18? 18? Wow. We are being inundated right now with requests for training from state and local law enforcement on sovereign-related matters. That's sad. Really. FBI agents said they do not have a tally of people who consider themselves sovereign citizens. J.J. McNabb, a former tax and insurance expert who is an analyst covering the sovereign movement, has estimated that it has about 100,000 members. Well, that's encouraging. Sovereign members often express particular outrage at tax collection, putting internal revenue and service employees at risk. What's the problem with that? I've heard about. I have never run into these guys, but I've heard about their thing. Um, I'm really more inclined to agree with a lot of these guys on stuff, I think, than disagree. And a lot of times they'll do stuff like drive around and without license plates and registration and all that, and without um, IDs, government IDs, and all that. I don't I don't see what the problem is. How is this any different than? To me, it's just a civil disobedience, right? Because it's a protest. They're protesters. They're protesting licensing, taxes, restrictions. So how are they all of a sudden anti-government extremists? Uh, because they don't want to, because they're protesting government encroachment on rights? and now they're anti-government extremists? That doesn't make sense. I can see, you know, shooting a police officer over a traffic infraction is pretty stupid, and you know, maybe the police officer was gonna shoot him or something. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but I can tell you this much: that we're moving in a direction. When the FBI does this stuff, it's marginalization. When they say this sort of stuff, that you're an anti-government extremist if you're against taxes, or you know, don't want to register your car or something. Now all of a sudden you're an anti-government extremist and a terrorist. It's marginalization. It's so that farther down the road, when they say, "All right, all the terrorists, um, guess what? We're going to revoke your citizenship and throw you in jail without a trial and probably waterboard you." All things that have been happening lately, huh? I don't know. Maybe I'm not putting two and two together. Maybe I'm putting two and three together and still getting four. But that's just the way I see it. Thanks for watching.